everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'm Leslie Gaudette, self-care strategist for female CEOs and their teams, empowering them to infuse self-care strategies to prevent burnout and enhance quality of life in business and beyond. And I wanted to say thank you for those of you joining me live today and for those of you who are watching this replay back. Today, we're going to be focusing on a topic that's paramount, yet it's not always visible on the corporate radar, and that is mental fitness. And for today, I'm focusing on you, the busy CEO. For me, mental fitness is the unsung hero of our daily routines, the silent engine behind our biggest decisions, and the foundation upon which our leadership qualities rest. And yet, it can be incredibly difficult to maintain if you're not taking care of yourself. I always believe that self-care should be at the top of your list when you start your day. I've often reflected on how self-care has played a pivotal role in my own journey, and part of that is my attention to my mental fitness. Because leadership is more than just strategy and execution. It's about mindset, with the mindset that we use when we approach tasks, right? Through personal triumphs and trials and triumphs, I've come to realize that the sharpness of our minds can be the difference between a good and a great leader. So today, in our time that we're going to spend together, we're going to unpack what mental fitness truly means and why it is indispensable for everyone at the helm of a business. And we'll examine the tangible benefits that a mentally fit leader can bring to an organization. And I'll share with you the concept of positive intelligence, a game changer in the realm of mental agility and health. So today, again, I'm going to be covering defining mental fitness and understanding its core components. We'll explore how mental fitness can elevate our leadership from better focus to stronger resilience. I'll introduce the concept of positive intelligence, a powerful framework that enhances our mental fitness by helping us to tap into the most productive and creative parts of our brain, which tool was introduced to me by Shirzad Chamine, who's the author of the New York Times bestselling book, Positive Intelligence. By myself going through his methodology, it was game-changing for me in so many ways. And I'll share practical strategies for you to cultivate mental fitness, regardless of how packed your schedule might be. So if you're watching this live, make sure you have a notebook and a pen so you can take notes. And if you're watching this back, make sure to pause this video now so that you can grab your favorite note-taking tools and so that you can take down those notes. And if you have any questions too, you're able to then go back and put those questions in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer them. So this is going to be a really jam-packed session. I'm excited to come to you today about this because I really think it's so important. So when we talk about mental fitness, what springs to mind? Often we relate fitness to physical strength, right? But mental fitness is about the strength and vitality, or I should say agility, of our minds. So it's the ability for us to handle life's challenges with a positive mindset and an adaptive approach. As CEOs or business leaders, our minds are our greatest assets. So mental fitness shapes our capacity to make decisions with clarity, to solve problems efficiently, and to lead our teams with confidence. When our mental faculties are honed and ready, we're more than leaders. We're visionaries who can steer our companies through storms and sunshine alike. The impact of mental fitness extends deep into the heart of decision making. Okay, with a fit mind and a rested mind, this all comes back to self-care, we can weigh our options more objectively, foresee potential pitfalls, and arrive at solutions that aren't just good, but truly optimal for our teams and our businesses. Problem solving becomes less about fighting fires and more about strategic prevention and innovation, right? Putting those things in place that are going to actually help you steer and stay on a straight course, to be able to steer going through those challenges with more ease, more focus and ease, because you've addressed these issues, these things around mental fitness. And a lot of the reason why mental fitness is so important, it comes back to self-care, as I was saying earlier, because the rest part is really important, like getting proper night's sleep. I talked about that in an earlier video this year around my own experience over a whole year. I did a study on myself on what I had learned through reading an article that I had found in Shape magazine around how positioning yourself for a better night's sleep really can make a difference. So I went on a year-long journey and I reported my findings, and it was quite extraordinary to find that just making small tweaks here and there on how I was positioning myself to fall asleep and how I was being mindful, my body was actually mindful during the night when I was sleeping to stay in these positions to help me to have more optimal sleep and waking up more refreshed and rested. So, how just as a muscle left untrained can become weak, when we neglect our mental fitness, that can have dire consequences. Burnout, a term we're all too familiar with, and one that I've spoken of on countless times, will continue to be a part of something that is, like, I believe, a signpost of neglected mental health. It can lead to a drop in productivity, right? But more worryingly, it affects our zest for our roles that we've worked so hard to succeed in. For example, think back to when you first started your business and you were excited and you were doing all the things, or even if you can think back to a time when you had a new product launch and you were excited and doing all the things. And based on whichever scenario you chose, in both instances, you found yourself pushing through and you became burnt out along the way and possibly almost felt like quitting, or you had to take time off to take care of your health. Part of counteracting burnout is our mental fitness, but that comes with us actively taking those breaks. Really quick, I got an email from someone recently, in someone that I've known for quite a few months now, and I'm on her email list. And she was like, "Hey, I'm back." And part of that was her hiatus away was she needed to take care of herself. She found she'd been burning the candle at both ends. I even recently just got off a telephone call with someone who has had many healthcare challenges these last few months. And a lot of that, I think, comes down to taking care of yourself and how, setting yourself up for optimal health, through the things that you do. And I talked about the helping you build that wellness plan in last week's video. So definitely go back and check that out, because I think it's important if you can look at things to really set yourself up for success. Those things, and making sure that you have the mental fitness in as well, is really going to help you to lead more efficiently. So what is the solution? It's really twofold. It's recognition and it's action. So first, you recognize the signs of mental fatigue and you take proactive steps to address them. This means setting boundaries around your time, ensuring there's time for mental recharging. I know this comes down to really knowing what you're doing. First of all, is having clarity on your vision, the big vision for whatever it is that you're working on, for your company, for your business, for a project that you're working on, a product launch. Having a bigger vision is great, but also having clarity around what is in alignment in that bigger vision for where you're at right now will help you then to really utilize your time more effectively, and that will show up on how you structure your calendar. I believe there's so much freedom and structure when you know what you're doing, and you will use your time more efficiently, thereby using less time doing busy work and being more productive. So that's the first thing, is like recognizing the signs and making sure that you have time for mental recharging. Secondly, once you learn to set boundaries around your time, you incorporate practices that increase your mental stamina. It's about building a mind that's not just resilient, but it's also agile and flexible in the face of adversity. And I'm going to talk about that in just a bit. So now let's dive into the concept of positive intelligence, a term coined by Shirzad Shamin that truly has been a game changer in my own leadership toolkit, particularly when it comes to mindset and emotional awareness. Because, part of my journey as a coach in the very beginning was, becoming certified as a coach, but also becoming certified in emotional intelligence and doing a lot of mindset work, a lot of mindset training. And that's where I started. But the positive intelligence piece is about turning your mind into your best ally. Imagine it as the mental fitness coach that trains you to tackle like the complexities of your life with a positive and clear mindset. It's about you shifting your thought patterns from self-sabotage to self-support. So uh, Shirzad talks about saboteurs. those inner critics we all have that can cloud our thinking and decision making with negativity. They're the voices that amplify fear, stress, and doubt, and we all have them. And in the high stakes role of a business owner, they can be particularly loud and distracting. And if you're leading a team, you're also having to manage your team's saboteurs with you and with each other. Now, the concept of sages, your sage is the deep well of wisdom within you. It's the part of your mind that approaches challenges with a sense of curiosity, calm, and clear headed logic. It's the voice of your true self minus the noise of your saboteurs. Now, the problem we face isn't isolated within us. It echoes through our interactions and ripples out to our teams. Okay. Our saboteurs, when they're in control, they can shape a very stressful atmosphere. They can cloud our leadership judgment and in the long run lead to collective burnout of you and your team. They not only cause us to second guess our decisions, but can also create a cycle of doubt and anxiety that can permeate through our teams. So when stress and negativity become a regular guest in our boardrooms, they stifle creativity and collaboration. So imagine a team meeting where fear of failure, driven by a collective inner saboteur, overshadows the innovative spirit. What are the results? Missed opportunities, a hesitant team, and a culture that's risk averse, not because of calculated decisions, but due to a fear inducing mindset. Now, the solution lies really in nurturing our sage. When we as leaders operate from our sage perspective, that more calm state of mind, curious about what the problem is at hand, how we can turn it, as Sherman would say, turning that into Shirzad, I should say, would say, turning that into a gift, an opportunity. Taking that challenge or problem and turning it into a gift or an opportunity. We inspire confidence and creativity when we use our sage mind, right? The positive approach doesn't just uplift our own mental fitness, it sets a tone for how our team interacts with us and with each other. So envision a team that's led by a sage mindset where challenges are met with enthusiasm, mistakes are seen as learning opportunities. It doesn't just alleviate stress, it forms an environment where innovation thrives, right? We are collaborating together as a team. We are, putting our minds together, like-minded, being curious together, being innovative together. And as we amplify the sage voices that we each have, we encourage each other as a team to, or even as the business owner, we encourage our teams to do the same. So we create that culture where each member can navigate challenges with poise and ingenuity. So we're going to explore how to amplify these sage powers within ourselves and how to cultivate a team dynamic that echoes this positive mental resilience. And you're going to learn to replace the echoes of doubt with a chorus of collective strength and creativity and yeses, right? Being able to use one of the things that he talks about as a sage power is in the power of innovate and being able to use the yes and method, which I absolutely love this approach where 10%, someone will start a conversation with an idea and we can listen to it fully engaged in what the person is saying. And that 10% can be right that we like. So we can say, what I like about that is this. And then we add our own. So this is part of my business wellness blueprint program for businesses, is to bring positive intelligence training into the mix, because I really feel it's important also around mindset and emotional awareness, being able to understand the emotions of yourself and each other, and being able to also be using to strengthen your sage powers so that your saboteurs don't collectively take over a meeting, but also that you come there more stronger as well as your team. So the pillars of mental fitness are mindfulness, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. Because I think the pillars of mental fitness are important to speak on, because they're crucial for us, especially as leaders. If you lead a team, and how you can practically apply them to your life to daily to enhance your leadership skills and your team dynamics is really going to show when you understand like how to use this principle to actually really help yourself as the owner, but also to then have encourage your team members. So first is mindfulness. It's like the anchor in the stormy sea of a CEO's day. So, practicing it helps you to stay focused on the present, to manage stress better, and to remain focused even during your chaotic schedule. A simple practice, you start your day with 5 minutes of meditation, closing your eyes. This is really super easy. Just sit, close your eyes, and concentrate on the rhythm of your breath. This simple, yet I think a lot of people think, oh, I don't feel like it, but it's a really simple but so effective act. It can sharpen your focus for hours ahead, right? Because you're becoming more present in the moment. You're focusing on your breath, and you're taking yourself from the outside noise and bringing yourself within. But let's make it even more practical. Throughout your day before each meeting, take just 1 minute to ground yourself with deep breaths. This small window can help recalibrate your focus and keep stress at bay, excuse me, allowing for clearer, more effective leadership. Okay, so next is cognitive challenges. Keeping our brains in shape requires us to embrace continuous learning and cognitive challenges, right? So think of it like a daily workout for your brain. So let's try this just for a minute. Just humor me for just a couple of minutes. I want you to take a moment, and I want you to now just close your eyes. If you're driving, of course you can't do this. Watch this back and go through this exercise, but try this. If you're sitting, or if you're not sitting yet, go and find a place to sit and then close your eyes. And now when you have your eyes closed, what you're going to do with your eyes shut, you're going to engage your senses. So first, let's touch two of your fingertips together with enough pressure that you can feel the ridges on each fingertip. Okay? Are you doing that? I hope you are. So then the second thing is focus on your breath, the rise of your chest or belly. Just stop rubbing your fingertips and then just focusing on your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now let's turn your focus to the sounds around you. Focus on the furthest sound that you can hear. What's the furthest sound that you can hear? And then now focus on the closest sound that you can hear. Now, this is really quick what I'm taking you through, but you can actually go back and try this, pause it as you're going through these steps. You will find that what I've found for myself in this practice is that it just really slows things down. It brings me back to the present moment. I'm not listening or thinking about the outside noise, and I'm able to just focus on what's going on within me and not anything else. And you can open your eyes now. So what you've done is, as I said, is just a simple exercise to help calm your senses and bring you back to your present. It's about bringing mindfulness to your senses, which can awaken and refresh your mind. Now, when you incorporate cognitive exercises in your routine by taking up activities that break your pattern, again, these are other activities that you can do. For example, solving a puzzle, maybe you're learning a new language or are learning a new app, or even taking a different route to work, or if you are outside for a walk, changing up your usual route that you walk, maybe changing again, going a different way if you're driving somewhere that you typically go every day. Mental gymnastics, as they would call it, like this, is not just good for your neurons, but they keep you agile and adaptable in business strategies too. So again, like looking, maybe even as an example, you have a project that you're working on. How can you make it fun for everyone? Like I know someone, this is just an idea, I'm going to throw it out there, but someone I know says she loves stickers, and she started talking about using stickers And people in her community were like, yeah, I love using stickers. I remember stickers was a reminder of, like, when I was in school, I would get, a gold star for something. Well, using it, finding a way to make your job fun is going to make it more enjoyable instead of less tedious. Finding ways to even gamify, like maybe someone comes up with an idea, the first person who comes up with XYZ gets, or ABC gets XYZ, making it fun so that it really keeps people moving more, and they're happier, they're engaged, they're working towards the goal. So let's talk now about emotional regulation, because as I was saying, emotional intelligence is where I started when I first became a coach back in 2018. And I believe, and it is believed, that emotional intelligence really is the bedrock of effective leadership and resilience. It's about responding and not reacting to situations that you find yourself in. It's learning and understanding your interpersonal and intrapersonal skills of understanding, again, like, not only your emotions and how you're emotionally wired and learning how to manage your emotions, but also the same for others, learning and understanding others' emotions, how they're emotionally wired, and learning how to manage their emotions. So here's a powerful tool that I alluded to it earlier, which I thought was really cool. But I've been incorporating it into my daily interactions with others. And one I actually love doing. And I just automatically am going here because I think it's a great way to, especially when I'm meeting with other people that I meet up with regularly on a weekly basis, and I'm, having this conversation and we're sharing ideas. And I love this technique because it really just makes it fun and exciting. And, just the bigger ideas, we just keep going round robin, if you will. It's the yes and technique, which I said was inspired by Shirzad Shamin's positive intelligence framework. I think it's fantastic for fostering team collaboration and innovation. So when a team member, for example, you're in a meeting now, if you've got a meeting today, think about this. If you have a meeting later today, if it's with your team, if it's with a group of people that you are typically other leaders that you're meeting with, when someone presents an idea, fully listen first, right? Don't listen to respond, because that's what a lot of people do. They're listening to respond, or listening to see if they like it or they don't. Instead, build on it with, what I like about that is, and add your perspective with, what you like about it. Then you finish it with, and this is what I would add to that. This approach encourages active listening. It acknowledges the value in each person's contribution, and it also paves the way for collective constructive development of ideas. Also, it avoids shutting down creative thought and instead amplifies the collaborative spirit. If you've ever felt that way, where you've brought an idea to the table, someone said, they immediately knocked it down, or someone in your inner circle, or maybe a significant other, someone in your family knocked it down. Instead, approach your conversations with the yes and mindset. It allows you to find 10% of what you like, to be able to, and then be able to say, this is what I like about it, and this is what I would also add to it. I think that would be really helpful. So when you, through your mindfulness, cognitive challenges, and emotional regulation, you can cultivate a mind that's not only fit for the tasks but at hand that you're dealing with daily, but also it's a model for our teams that I believe we can allow, that we can also, by the way, as I said, take outside of business into our personal lives. By practicing these techniques ourselves, we inspire our teams to adopt the same approach, leading to a work culture that thrives on creativity, innovation, and mutual respect. And in your personal life, imagine if you bring up an idea to friends, to family, your significant other, and you adopted this approach to your discussions, or they brought up an idea and you adopted this approach to your discussions. What could that do for your relationships, in that you're communicating better? What a joy would that be, right? Like, what joy would that bring into your life? So think about how to incorporate the yes and methodology into your day. Try that out today. I think you're going to like it. So now we're going to move on to how you can turn these pillars of mental fitness into daily habits that bolster not just your own performance, but the performance of your team. When it comes to incorporating mental fitness and positive intelligence, the key really is to making mental fitness part of your routine. And it's to integrate it, not adding. You're not adding stuff. You're not piling on more tasks to your day. You're really enhancing the ones you already do. For example, use your morning coffee break, or if you drink tea, use your morning tea break as a moment of mindfulness. Savor the taste, smell the aroma, like close your eyes and savor the taste. I think too many times we get to that place where we're multitasking. We're drinking our coffee, or we're drinking our tea, we're eating our lunch, we're reading, or we're working on something. We miss out on the sensations of what we're actually doing. So savor the taste, smell the aromas, feel the warmth of the cup. Use all your senses to be completely present. For positive intelligence, remember the yes and approach during meetings. This isn't just a communication strategy, it's a culture builder. By acknowledging and adding to your team's ideas, you encourage openness and creativity, which are vital components of a mentally fit organization. And think about this: if you have members of your team who may not speak up regularly, this could open the door for them to feel more confident and encouraged to speak up and provide and actually add value that maybe they've been holding on to for fear of being shut down. So there's great tools, digital tools out there to help you keep track of your mental fitness journey. There's apps that prompt mindfulness exercises, track your mood, that provide cognitive games. That can be excellent resources. Find something that resonates with you, and you can make them part of your daily toolkit. For example, Lumosity is an app that provides brain games and ways for you to enhance your cognitive abilities. Although I learn something every day due to the fact that I've planned out 12 months of learning, because I believe learning is growing. I'm actually going to take a look at Lumosity and see how, first of all, how and if it will fit into my lifestyle easily. If it doesn't, that's fine. But I always believe that learning is growing, so that's why I incorporated 12 months of learning. I'm learning something new every month. I've now started onto something new. I'm 3 months in. I'm going to be starting something brand new on Monday. Next, also, you want to foster a supportive culture, because culture starts at the top. Okay, so if you're seen taking 5 minutes for a mindfulness exercise, or publicly tackling a cognitive challenge, it is going to set a precedent. It's going to encourage your team members that you actually practice what you preach. So encourage your mental fitness breaks throughout the day for your team. Again, it's so important. Or even when you start your meetings, start them with a 1 minute of mindfulness where you tap into one of your senses, like touch or sound, or the noticing of your breath. Start your meetings with your team that way. These small acts can signal to you, obviously, they're going to signal to you that you're on the right track, because you're going to find that your team is going to understand that mental wellness is a priority for you, and they're going to feel valued. They're going to feel cared for, and they're going to feel like, oh, okay, I can actually be supportive myself. The challenge here is really clear. Without actively fostering mental fitness, we can fall into autopilot, reacting to our day events rather than responding with intention. So the solution really is to make mental fitness a habit, a natural part of your daily life. And you'll not just see personal benefits, but you'll see a ripple effect that enhances your entire team's cohesion and performance. So here are some questions to help you reflect on your current mental fitness. So again, you might want to go back and watch this to come back to this timestamp to write these down, or I can actually put these questions in the comments of the video once I'm finished. So like, how do you currently support your mental fitness, and where can you improve? In what ways do your mental fitness practices impact your leadership and decision making? How can you apply positive intelligence techniques to overcome personal saboteurs and enhance your mental resilience? Remember the yes and exercise and how it promotes collaboration and team. What strategies can you implement to make mental fitness a regular part of your leadership routine? So As we wrap up today, let's take a moment to remind ourselves the why of this discussion. Yes, I'm going to go over just a couple of minutes. I apologize, but I really feel that this is important. It's going to help you, especially you're finishing out a quarter. And if you found that your quarter has not gone to plan, you've had a lot of challenges, it could be that you just need to look at your wellness routine to help with not only, as I talked about in last week's video, about setting yourself up self-care wise, so you're working well professionally and personally, having quality of life, but really mental fitness is going to help you as the leader, and it's going to help engage your team too to become more effective leaders themselves within their roles. So we want to remember that mental fitness isn't just about personal well-being. It's about elevating our leadership to heights that resonate with effectiveness, harmony, and profound impact. The core of what was shared today really circles back to the notion that as leaders, our inner state reflects outwardly in our actions and in the culture of our teams. So by us taking proactive steps towards integrating mental fitness practices into our daily lives, we set the stage for improved leadership, enriched personal well-being, and a thriving organizational environment, right? With that being said, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on what mental fitness means to you and how enhancing it can change the way you lead and live. And again, I will make sure to put the questions that I just asked you within the comments. Consider the pillars that we've discussed today: mindfulness, cognitive challenges, and emotional regulation. And think about how these can be woven into the fabric of your daily routine. I encourage you not to just let this conversation end here. Take the initiative, okay? Reach out and schedule a free business wellness consultation with me. The link can be found in the headline section of my profile. It can be found in the headline section. Together, we can assess your current practices, identify areas for growth, and create a bespoke plan that aligns with your unique leadership style in life. So I look forward to joining you on this journey. I truly do, helping you to steer your course towards a leadership experience that not only stays on the success trajectory, but also that it's balanced and enriching. Remember, your mental fitness is the quiet conductor of your life's symphony. So together, let's make it resonate with the richness and depth it deserves. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate you taking the time to learn, to reflect, and to engage. Here's to your mental fitness and the vast potential it holds for you and your team.